Hi guys, I'm Terrence, and filling in again for Manny, we have Archie Cherries back on the show. We love having him on the show. And here are the goods. So this week in box office, we always talk about box office every week, and this week was Memorial Day, so box office should be pretty good for all the films that came out, even though I don't think there was a lot of big ones out. I know this week we got Pirates of the Caribbean, which was number one. Pirates of the Caribbean was number one in the box office, brought in $62 million for the Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah. But to actually top that, on Monday, it brought in another $55 million.
Well, Memorial Day. No one had anything else to do except to go see a movie.
Well, true, because that's what I did. All right, did you get a chance to see Pirates of the Caribbean?
No, I did not.
Yeah, have you seen any Pirates of the Caribbean films?
Yes, I have.
Were you caught up all the way going into Dead Men Tell No Tales? I didn't even know it had a subtitle.
Well, I was gonna say yes. Okay. I think so.
I thought so too.
There's the first one.
Right. There was the first one that featured
Orlando Bloom and
freaking
Kate.
Kirch.
The English Broad.
Yeah, that girl.
Then the second, which was
featured Orlando Bloom and that English girl.
And that English girl again.
And Johnny Depp again. I think the third one they took him out. They took them out, right?
They took them out on the third one, and that's with Penelope Cruz.
Yeah, there you go.
Then this is the fourth.
The fourth or the fifth? No, this is the fifth because they did a fourth. Or maybe the fourth was with Penelope Cruz. Maybe Orlando Bloom and the English chick made it all the way through the three, and then they put Penelope Cruz.
If I'm wrong, please comment.
By the way, if
Let me
he's
know.
wrong, tell us the actual Pirates of the Caribbean timeline, because I don't think anybody really knows it. I really don't think anybody.
I want to say there's a fourth one, and this is number 5. I
think this is number 5. I'll put it.
They're just so blurred.
They are so blurred. Well, my experience of Pirates of the Caribbean is that if it was a fun movie, I will give it that. I mean, that's probably why this thing got 5 sequels or 4 sequels, is that it is a fun movie, but I think there was a lot of things that came on later in the film where it needed you to have watched the other
previous
to kind of get all the references that they were making. So
I view the Pirates of the Caribbean similar to the Resident Evil movies. After that, I've just lost count.
The first one was all you really need to care about.
After that, I just couldn't keep up with the storyline.
All right, so coming in at number 2 was Guardians of the Galaxy, still hanging in there at 5, right? Exactly. It has no competition, to be honest. I mean, it was number 2 last week, which I was a little surprised that it was number 2 because it was number 2, the Alien Covenant. So this week it's still hanging in at number 2.
I'm surprised it's number 2.
Which we'll talk about Alien Covenant in a minute. But as we move down to number 3, Baywatch is still in our top 5, which after all of its bad reviews, it's still hanging in at the number 5. So hopefully that maybe people got rid of all the negative things that were said about it, and they just realized, because I'm saying this is a good movie, that it is a worthwhile film.
That is a movie I did want to see, but I was going to wait for it to die down. Yeah.
Oh yeah, maybe the appeal to go out there. I went to see Baywatch. There was 3 people in the theater.
Yeah. I don't want to see shirtless guys on TV. I don't want people knowing I'm watching.
Whoa, dude! I'm securing my manhood. But damn it, Zac Efron's ripped on ripped. I was like, what the hell? How come I can't get my body like that? This is my Tybo. I'm gonna get on that. Coming in at number 4, which was number 1 last week, Alien Covenant. Falling all the way down to number 4.
I cannot believe it felt well. Actually, after watching it, yes, I can't believe that.
Yeah, wow. It took a huge hit. As a matter of fact, it only brought in $10 million for the weekend. I didn't get the Memorial Day total for it because I'm sure it made a lot more money on Memorial Day. But just to drop down to number 4 for the weekend was very surprising in its second week. It should have took out Guardians of the Galaxy, to be honest.
Well, I saw it prime time Sunday or Friday evening at 7 something, and there was very few people in the theater.
Everybody went to go see Pirates of the Caribbean, obviously.
Guardians of the Galaxy, apparently.
And Guardians of the Galaxy again. They're like, screw it.
I already saw it. I just want to see more Baby Groot.
I was like, the only aliens I want to watch in there is
full of them. I just don't want to see one type of.
The only alien I want to see in a movie is Chris Pratt. There you go. And running out number 5 is Everything is Everything, which Manny calls Girl in a Bubble. I have not got a chance to see this film.
I have not seen that.
It's a small film. As a matter of fact, it brought in $6 million. The thing only had a budget of $10 million. So in its second week, I'm sure it's already beat because it made money last week. I'm sure it's already beaten its budget. So you might get it. Everything is Everything.
What happened to King Arthur?
That movie fell out of the top 5 quickly.
I have yet to see it. I wanted to see it.
You are not missing anything, sir. So that takes care of this week's top 5. Coming in next week is our juggernaut. I will call it that to reference another Marvel or to reference another comic book character. Wonder Woman. This is our Amazon coming into the box office this week.
Amazonian.
Our Amazonian. Wonder Woman is coming out next week for June 2nd. It's already got its reviews out, or at least the early reviews.
The early reviews?
Yeah, Rotten Tomatoes has posted about 68 reviews. Almost all positive. This is like when Guardians of the Galaxy came out. This is like when most Marvel movies come out. It's like they get real positive views. This is a shocker for DC. DC has been making some controversial films where like there are comic book lovers that love them, and then people who aren't such comic book fans don't really love them or find a lot of the flaws that are in this one. Not the case with Wonder Woman, because with all of those 68 reviews, 66 of them were positive, 2 were negative, which gave us about a 97% on Rotten Tomatoes.
That's pretty high.
That is awesomely high.
That's some 68 reviews, but still, that's really high.
I mean, the ratio as you go up, as more people see it, then I mean, if it could keep that, look, if this thing can stay fresh, if it stays over 50%, that is a win for DC because they have had a hard time keeping a movie over 50%. When you look at stuff like Batman vs Superman or Man of Steel or Suicide Squad.
Well, here's why I like the DC movies. Just like their comic books, DC and Marvel were two completely. DC focused more on the characters and the story of really developing, and I just feel as if their films are going the same way.
Okay, so let me ask you this.
Darker.
Let me ask you this, because I'll tell you right now. The 2 reviews, they didn't like it because I was curious. One of them said the villain is weak. And the other one said that when it came to the Diana Prince character, which is really funny about her dual personality, is that she's Princess Diana and then her alter ego is Diana Prince. That character was too.
This is developed in she came out in the 30s?
Yes, this is the old comic book character, and they just haven't updated it. But her character was a little bit too bumbly, a little too much of a fish out of water thing, kind of like when we saw with Thor. But at least they got over that in Thor, and they got over that with they didn't really do that with Chris Evans with Captain America. But seeing that the reviews were so high on this, do you think this is a savior for DC?
Well, I'm hoping. I'd like to think that this is. I'm not going in with high hopes.
Okay. Taper your expectations.
Yes. Set the bar low and you won't be disappointed. I set it high in Guardians of the Galaxy, and I was kind of.
I feel the same way with you in Guardians of the Galaxy, and I'm hoping Wonder Woman for multiple reasons. A lot of the reviews I saw were from a lot of women reviewers actually posted for Rotten Tomatoes, and it was something that was inspirational for them.
Well, this is the first female lead.
Well, I mean, you count Supergirl. You count Catwoman.
No, I'm talking about the new.
Oh, in this new iteration of comic book films. Okay.
Yes,
I'll give you that.
She's the first one that's taking on the mantle, and and as much as Scarlett Johansson's character was, great, she seems to be falling on the wayside in the films
because Ghost in the Shell came out.
But
Scarlett.
My thing is, and I've mentioned it before, I just wish they would have chosen an actress that was a little bit more,
a little meaty,
a little more, yeah.
Got some
jock, a little more looking like an Olympic athlete.
Got a little more baby got back there,
Just a bit. I mean, because of photoshopping.
He really says they're photoshopping.
It's photoshopped the muscle tone.
I know you did hard work, and I know.
I'm certain you did. I'm certain. I know you're watching this show. Yeah. Thank you for watching this show.
We appreciate you. Yeah.
Yes. But I'm just thinking, as Wonder Woman. She's supposed to be.
Well, Wonder Woman Part 2, maybe she's got,
maybe
she's
she
got
put on some
24-inch
weight.
pythons.
Yeah.
I mean, she's been eating her vitamins and drinking her milk and stuff and saying her prayers. Well, once it comes out, we'll get a chance to see it. We'll definitely do a review. I'll try to do a non-spoiler one, and we'll definitely do a spoiler review, because I'm sure maybe we can get Art back in and we can get his total take when he gets to see her in action.
Yes, I could be like, what I really want to know once this movie comes out is the actual storyline. We know that she's going to be during the war and she's coming out, but really, I mean, who can even oppose? I mean, she took on a Doomsday.
Very true.
Right? I mean, what can guys in the 1930s do with their firearms and their?
I mean, they haven't said specifically in the trailers, but the rumor is that it's Ares.
Well, which would be cool. I'm just saying. I like the fact that they haven't said anything at the same time. Really?
A lot of mystery, or they're afraid. 97% means they're not afraid. This is going to be good.
Well, apparently 90. That's pretty high. So I'm going in.
All right. So keeping with upcoming box office hits, or staying with upcoming box office hits, is the franchise Jeepers Creepers was a really, really good hit. Or back in the day, it was a big hit.
Back in the day, the first one was actually kind of cool. I loved it.
The first one was kind of cool. The second one was kind of But it was a big hit, and the franchise still has a lot of fans, and people really remember it. It was a fresh take on horror that had been done, because we get to those periods where people kind of imitate. This is one of the films I can't say people really imitated.
No.
So, the great thing about it, when nobody can imitate it, that means that you can do a sequel. So
apparently they've done more.
And they've actually announced a new Jeepers Creeper film coming out, and we're actually gonna see the return of Gina Phillips, who was the Trish character in the original film, and she was the one who was the older sister. The dude who used to do the Apple commercials. The guy with the rose tattoo below his belly button. Nobody remembers the very masculine rose tattoo above his belly button. I bet you their characters were switched.
See, I thought it was below. I wasn't focusing that hard, but apparently you were. I told you about
Zac Efron's rippling muscles, and you talk about me focusing on the rose tattoo. I bet you the characters were switched at one particular point in time, and it was supposed to be her as his character, and he was supposed to, and somebody would say, oh, it would be better if we made her the strong character and him the weaker character, and then that's how we still got him stuck with the belly button tattoo. Anyway, so she is gonna be back for Jeepers Creepers. I don't know what the title is called, but she's gonna be back for Jeepers Creepers, which I wanted to ask, knowing the premise for Jeepers Creepers, how are they going to do this? In the sequel, they said that, hey, he's only here for so many days.
28 days.
And it's like, you don't know if it's the
20
first,
years or something.
Yeah, it was I thought it was 70 years or something like that. And it was you don't know if it was the first day or if it was the last day. So is this going to be in between? Is this
Actually, you did know.
Oh, because in the second one, they did tell you it was the end, and that's when then you got to the end, and he waited around for him to come back.
Yes.
So, are we gonna say that was a pure? I mean, they did do some older cars in there, so we're gonna say that was in the past, and now we're gonna do present day.
There wasn't a lot to preface what time period this was.
The truck was old. The car that they drove was old. And
there was a payphone.
Yeah, there was because there's no more of those. There's no more of those.
So it could have been 10 years ago, for all we know.
It was a long time ago in 1999.
Way back when.
Back when the Matrix was running loose in the theater. All right, so I mean, how do you feel like the storyline is going to set up with knowing the premise that they set in the original films? So you think that they're going to do present day since we don't know what that was, or
they could very well. I mean, what I really did like about this film is that they ruined it in the second when they went a little bit further with the creeper. But yeah, it was very vague on it. It was just a pure horror film. And what I liked about it, maybe I'm reading too much into it and I'm trying to tie things in, but I felt as if I was one of the characters as well. I didn't know what was happening. All I knew, I was driving home with my sister, my hot sister. Oh.
That's another movie you're talking about there, sir. I don't know if that's allowed on this channel.
And then all of a sudden everybody starts dying around me and something's chasing me. They didn't try to explain too much. They gave you a little bit with that one woman who was praying and she wasn't scared. But it left you like, I want to know more. Okay, let's have another one. Let's do this.
So you're happy to see the sequel come out?
Yeah, I really am.
Okay, good. All right. So whenever it's in early development right now. We don't have a release date. We don't have outside of Gina Phillips being scheduled to come back for this film, we don't really know a cast. And the Apple guy,
well, he's dead. They showed him.
He made a cameo in the other one, so he can make a cameo.
Well, all he was doing was pointing.
He can point some more. He can point to his rose tattoo.
Which that made no sense. Those visions that she had of him just made no sense. I think they were just trying to tie in the first film.
They were trying to tie in the first one.
Yeah, but it made no sense.
All right, so changing up a little bit because I'm horrible with segues. I was thinking hard of one. Other news: Karl Urban was mentioned when the producers of the upcoming Netflix TV show Mega City 1 was mentioned to the producers, or at least asked, as far as if he would make a return back, and the producers said they would be willing to go into discussions with him. Would you like to see Karl Urban back in a TV show for Judge Dredd?
Yes.
You would?
I would.
You don't think that's beneath him?
No, I mean...
he did do that other TV show, the whole Only Human, that got canceled.
So, if this was, 1990 or 1980, where you had the big screen and you had the small screen, right? Mm-hmm. But I think now, with just technology, right? With just being able to stream a show at any point in time, your audience is really broad.
Right.
So actually, I think people are much more comfortable watching and streaming films at home. Mm-hmm. So I don't think it's saying that I'm going to do a TV show is beneath me at all. I think now at this point, an actor can go in and just say, you know what, I feel comfortable doing this because of the...
Okay. So with that premise and setup, would you be willing to watch this show if they don't get Karl Urban back?
I'd still be.
I mean, what if they do some Blade TV show where they got Sticky Fingers from Onyx to play Blade? I was like, you watching that? You watching this? That Judge Dredd?
Well, it all depends on
Sticky Fingers Judge Dredd.
It all depends who's going to carry the show, right? Obviously, that's paramount too.
No, it was Federal Star. It wasn't Sticky Fingers. It was Federal Star. I'm sorry. Let me get it right.
Before somebody corrects him.
Yes, before somebody corrects me. So you would be okay if they recast for Mega City 1?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I like post-apocalyptic movies that the whole world had to change because of something. So, yeah.
Okay, I mean, all we really need is a Batman voice up under a helmet.
That's really, that's all you see is that.
There you go. You need some grumbly Christian Bale. You want to be Judge Dredd? I mean, what are you really doing right now? He's winning Oscars and stuff. So, all right. Jumping on to comic book news. A recent announcement had come out in regards to the New Mutants movie. And New Mutants is one of the next films that are coming out for Fox in their Fox Marvel-esque cinematic universe. And it's being stated that this one is going to be more of a horror film. It's going to be dealing with the New Mutants are going to be more teenagers because it's a younger teen. And they're going to focus more on the teen angst as well as how terrifying teenagers with these destructive powers could be in civilization or around regular people. So it's going to be touted as a horror film, and it's going to be PG-13. They're shooting for a PG-13.
Well, I mean, because they want to bring in the younger crowd to come see it.
People went to go see, the younger crowd went to go see Logan, by the way.
But the studios are like,
the younger crowd went to go see Deadpool, by the way.
That is true.
Don't you remember being a kid and seeing an R-rated film? Don't you want this to be R-rated? That's been Fox's whole thing.
I did not see R-rated movies till I was 18.
You are a...
Thank you, Mom, Dad, for raising me right.
He missed out on his childhood, basically. So, what I was a little disappointed when hearing this is that I thought Fox was finally doing something of their own. They were saying that we can make R-rated films and make them good.
Well, but, let me ask you this.
Even though, okay, go ahead.
Well, if you're a studio head, right, and you're like, okay, let's make a movie of teenagers, but let's make this R-rated. Our adults are, grown men. Primarily, right, and women, but it's mainly men. Mm-hmm. Are they going to want to go see a movie about teenagers unless the girls are scantily clad and they're 18? years old.
Boobs! Yes! I wanted my New Mutant boobs.
But, then it's not really teenage angst, right? So obviously you got to make it PG-13 so you can bring in a younger crowd and at least say, we're making this to bring in a younger crowd. Oh, that makes perfect sense to me.
Now, my only thing about it is that the ties that the New Mutants have with X-Force and then going on for it with Deadpool is that if somehow this crosses over with Deadpool and dealing with the R-rated that Deadpool is, going into the PG-13 that these characters will
is not even part of the MCU.
I mean, well, for Fox's universe, I mean, this is their universe they're setting up with Deadpool and Cable and X-Force and Domino and the New Mutants. The New Mutants roll over and become part of X-Force. So that's where once they make that merger to X-Force, which they will eventually get to, knowing Fox, I worry that how are they going to mesh those two things? Because you're going to have one audience that was PG-13, you're going to have one rated R audience.
I don't think they're thinking that far. I'm thinking they just, what else is out there that we can cash in on?
What can we make money with?
Yeah, let's hurry up. We'll think about it, and what they're going to end up doing is pulling up, an X-Men. Where it's like none of it makes sense.
All right. Video game news. I'm horrible with segues. Video game news now. We actually, well, I guess it's comic book news if you think about it in a way, because we have Tom Holland, who was just recently cast as our young Nathan Drake in the upcoming Uncharted film, which is great to finally see that it's in production, was asked who would he like to have as the old Nathan Drake, since he's going to be playing the young Nathan Drake. Tom Holland, good man, says he would like.
Wait, is he 18?
Chris, he's 20.
Really? Dang.
And what's funny is that the character in the video game was like 14.
Yeah, well, that's what, I thought he was younger. He's got a young face. He's got a young face.
But you could age him down a little bit. You could say he's 16 if you really wanted to, or something like that. Or you could just say Nathan Drake, when he meets Sully, he was older. He wasn't an adult, but he was a little bit older. He's playing 16 in Spider-Man right now. So they can still
but it was
16.
filmed like 2 years ago.
I know. So he's gonna be 30 playing 16. He says that he would like to have either Jake Gyllenhaal be the older Nathan Drake, Prince of Persia fame, or Chris Pratt, which was my pick last week. What do you think about those two picks? And do you have anybody else that you would want to see as Nathan Drake?
I like Chris Pratt.
I love Chris Pratt.
I do.
The Pratt.
It all depends on how he's gonna play. Mm-hmm. Because if he's gonna play a more serious role, I can totally see Jake Gyllenhaal playing that.
I worry
if it's a darker, not darker, but if it's a more mature, young Drake, then I can see.
Well, we already got young Drake and Tom Holland.
Yeah, well, I'm saying if he plays the character much more serious without a humor.
No, you can't play that character that way because that's with this character.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. But it all depends on how how they can always switch it up and try to put some humor.
This is the dark, gritty Nathan Drake.
So I kind of like Jake Gyllenhaal. Plus, he hasn't had any movie recently, so give him something.
I mean, he had that one where he was the cameraman that was
Night Watch.
Yeah, I mean, he had that one which got him a lot of acclaim from that.
Yeah. But what happened since then?
Well, he's still reeling from Prince of Persia. I mean, and that's the funny thing about Jake Gyllenhaal is that when Prince of Persia didn't do well, he swore off doing these type of films. He was like, he didn't want to do anything video game-ish, comic book-ish.
And you throw enough money, they're going to say yes.
You show up with a truckload of money to his house, you'd be like,
you're not going to say no.
Where do I show up? Give me my lines. Let me get out there and do it. But I think Chris Pratt, because we talked about before on Chris Pratt being the next superstar in movies or in media altogether, and we said that he needed another franchise. He has Jurassic Park, he has Guardians of the Galaxy. I think he needs that third franchise that he can take of his own to make him a superstar, and I think he'd be perfect for something like this because other names that you heard to be mentioned in early script developments of this film were Mark Wahlberg. No. The fans wanted.
Talk about old. He's up there. He's older than me.
Nathan Fillion.
He's older than you.
Hey, he's in great shape though. He's in great shape.
You would know.
I obviously I check out guys. and their fitness. Nathan Fillion was the other person that was people were trying to get them to cast, but Nathan Fillion's up there too. I mean, did you have anybody else that you think besides?
You know what? No, and not off the top of my head. I would have to sit down and think. You know, the hard part is they have all these contracts with the studios and what they can or cannot do in the time frames. So, what I would not like is to see a whole bunch of movies pushed out just to push them out by a certain actor, and then, you know, they're not very good quality just because they're trying to get something out.
Very true. All right, so because I can't make continuity in my segues. Back to comics.
Well, we're staying on the same line with comics.
We're staying on the same line with comics.
It's still comics.
All right. So our last topic for today is there was an announcement for a Silver Sable and Black Cat movie, more of a crossover film that's going to come out. They're still penning the script for this film, and the early title is what they're calling this is Silver and Black. Spurs references all over the place. Spurs. I can see the posters right now here in San Antonio.
Well, wait.
They add
wouldn't that be the Silver Stars?
Well, it would be the Silver Stars because it's women. It would be the Silver Stars. There you go. Good job, sir.
Speaking of the Silver Stars.
But all right. So this one in the early talks for it is that the Sony Spider-Verse, what they're setting up, their Spider-less verse, I guess we would say it that way. They've already announced the the Spider-less Venom film, and this one isn't really set to have a Spider-Man in it either. Now, the character of Silver Sable was, she crossed paths with Spider-Man and had worked with him on certain issues and certain missions, stuff like that. And Black Cat, not truly a love interest for Peter Parker, but did have some romantic ties.
No, there's some.
Yeah, in the comics.
They were just.
Do you feel like they could do
human.
this? Do they feel like they could do this film without Spider-Man?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so
you don't have to necessarily tie in.
Okay.
You don't necessarily have to tie that in. It all depends on the scripting, right? That's what it comes down to. It depends on how the script is and how they can play it up. You don't necessarily need to tie them in. They have two good characters, you would hope, that would carry the movie.
Oh, this is like I said, this is part of their whole Spider-Verse film, you know, with the Aunt May film that's yet to be announced.
Aunt May film.
That was a real thing. That was a real thing.
Please tell me that.
That was a real thing. They were going to do an Aunt May. They were going to do like a young Aunt May film. They were going to kind of show like, I guess, how she met Uncle Ben, or like,
wow, talking about like reaching. Let's just pull something, people.
No, they were gonna show her. I think they were trying to do something.
Early Marissa Tomei. I'd see it.
I would see it too. I mean, her back in the day when she did the
her back in the day,
the horror movie she did
right now,
or even the Romeo and Michelle.
I don't. Marissa Tomei.
So I mean, you're okay with it being minus Spider-Man, even though that they don't have like really strong ties like Venom does, but they still do have ties with Spider-Man.
Yeah,
you're okay.
Yeah,
with
I'm totally cool with that. I mean, something different. We don't have to just be rehashing and bringing up a certain things. They have, depending on who they cast as well, right?
I mean, it's all going to come down to casting.
What we don't want is another Catwoman travesty to happen.
Well, Black Cat is basically Marvel's Catwoman. But I mean, that's what they're. She's totally, because her thing is based on like luck and things of that sort, almost kind of like Domino and in a sense, but. Still, to me, it was a little shocking. I was like, more Spider-Man characters that don't have Spider-Man in it, because Spider-Man right now is still in the MCU.
Yeah.
And they don't want to. Marvel doesn't want to bring these stories into their MCU as of yet. It's a little disheartening to me, because I would like to see Spider-Man in these films.
Well, it's so in the early stages. It's all speculation.
It's all speculation at this point. They can always do cameos and stuff like that. You know, hey, have him pop in or something like that,
or reference him in the news, something
like swinging by Tom Holland in his Nathan Drake outfit. So
is Stan Lee going to be in these too?
He's in everything, because he's Uatu, the Watcher. Did you not watch Guardians?
I have to remember the Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Yes.
I didn't even watch it.
Stay for the post-credit scenes.
I didn't stay for the post-credit scene.
What is wrong with you? There was always post-credit. There was 5 in the Guardians of the Galaxy.
I had to pee.
Oh, well, there you go.
I had to pee.
There you go, America. He had to pee. So with the announcement and the resurgence of all of these female-led superhero films, it's kind of brought something to my eye as far as what we would want to expect for, or what would we like to see going forward as far as superheroines on screen.
I definitely have more of them.
Oh, definitely.
Scantily clad, if possible.
So now it's time for our top 5. And we're back.
No Flash.
No substance. All right, so today's top 5 is superheroines we would like to see in a movie led by themselves. I don't know how they come off when I write this on the screen, but superheroines we'd like to see in their own film. There you go. That sounds.
Yeah, that sounds way better.
That sounds better. So, Art, go first.
All right. Okay, so I know I'm the unpopular opinion of my top 5. I know that.
Holy Man number 5.
I stand by Holy Man. Watch the film. It's actually a decent, funny film. All right?
You can write your hate mail, care of the good.
Or just comment below.
There you go.
All right? Watch Holy Man before y'all talk smack, and then post and comment. Or comment, then watch it, and then retract whatever comment that you said.
No, I'm sure your top 5 right now will give them plenty of stuff to come about. I'm sure it'll be great.
Don't be looking at my top 5 either. I know you keep glancing over.
I wrote mine, sorry.
That's why I don't play poker with him.
Mine's not going to change.
All right.
Number 5.
Number 5. Rogue.
Rogue, okay.
I would like to see a Rogue film. First of all, the first Rogue in X-Men was not a good character.
Adam Paquin, as adorable as she is, she just was not a good Rogue.
Rogue was fierce.
The character that they wrote for her,
how they wrote it. She's fierce. She was a fighter. She was, and this one, she was very timid. Mm-hmm. She didn't have any of the powers that Rogue had.
Yeah,
except for
I can absorb your powers.
Yeah,
or I can absorb you
and kill you.
There you go.
Which the comics books were the same.
Well, maybe if they'd have kept her character later on in the film, they would have had her absorb Miss Marvel, and then she could have became the Rogue that we all know. Because that's the only thing she was missing. She didn't absorb Miss Marvel.
Well, she needed something because
she needed some girl.
She needed some girl
touching.
And Rogue is a movie. It's a superhero. I mean, she is a superhero. She can do a lot. Imagine a film just based off of her being able to.
We could have got our crossover with Gambit with Channing Tatum. That's never going to come out. Number
4. Elektra.
Done right.
Elektra done right.
Jessica Biel was in that one, right? Or was it Jennifer Garner?
It was Jennifer Garner.
Jennifer Garner. Okay.
Elektra done right, yes. But this is an all new universe, remember? And so we have her already in Netflix. Black Rain, right? Yeah.
Black Rain?
Yeah, she was the Black Rain. Remember? She's in the tomb at the end.
Oh, I was like, what are we talking about?
I don't mind giving that spoiler because, come on, you should have already seen it. It's on Netflix.
I gotta put a spoiler on up now.
It's been on Netflix for over a year. Come on, it's not a spoiler alert.
Trust me, people will talk.
Yeah, but done right. She is just an awesome character.
No, she's a great character, especially the way they introduced her in Netflix. I want to know more about her.
Yeah, it was very mysterious. She had no idea what her background, what she could have done when she wasn't around on there. So there's a lot. And the reason why I'm choosing these is there's so many superheroes out there, right? There's so many superheroines, I should say.
Right.
But if I want to be politically correct, then they're superheroes, regardless of their gender, right? Mm-hmm. So. What are characters that can actually carry not just a film, but perhaps a franchise?
Right.
And so, I can name a superhero with super cool powers, but can that character really? Is there enough history? Is there, enough backing for people to do that?
Scarlett Johansson. Number 3.
Sif.
From Thor.
From Thor, yes, very good.
The most underused character in the history of underused characters.
She made an appearance in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
She makes an appearance in Thor. She makes an appearance in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. She is great on cameos, but she ain't great on doing anything.
Well, because they haven't wrote anything for her. But
well, you know what? Give her her own movie. Maybe we could actually.
Because there's already she's already been introduced. There's already something that you can build off of. And so you have that audience already.
Okay.
They're familiar with the character. There's enough.
Very true.
If those of you that keep up with the comics and kept up with Thor, there's already enough stories with her. It doesn't have to involve Thor.
Okay.
There's plenty
Very
of
true.
Plenty of material there to work with.
I feel like they're writing her out of Thor by making Valkyrie seem like she's a love interest for Thor in this film.
Well, we don't know.
We don't know yet.
We don't know.
We haven't seen the film.
Yeah.
Right.
Don't. And plus, she's really good looking.
She really is really good looking.
She has a classic. She has a classic beauty. Who she could have portrayed Wonder Woman. Just saying.
There you go. Adrian Palicki was in the pilot for Wonder Woman that never aired. I'm still upset about that. She ended up being Mockingbird though.
Oh well.
She ended up being Mockingbird, but I kind of wanted to see her as Wonder Woman. I would have appreciated that. Number 2.
All right. Black Widow.
Widow, the Black Widow movie we have yet to get.
I mean, you have such a come on. Scarlett Johansson is a great actress.
Yes.
She can carry movies, obviously. You know she can carry a movie.
She can carry a movie.
You have the character already. You have a backdrop. That should be common sense. This should have happened a long time ago.
I tell you, Ghost in the Shell happened and that Black Widow movie got shelved.
She can.
And I like Ghost in the Shell. I don't even give a crap. Scarlett, I'm sorry if you're watching. I love Ghost in the Shell. It's just that because it didn't perform well, I see why they haven't done a Black Widow film.
Well, you have already all the material there, so why not?
You do.
This is a no-brainer.
All right, I'm with you.
Number 1. The most common one is Supergirl.
Supergirl. I would love to see a Supergirl film redone. As 80s as the original film was, I would love to see
the 80s Supergirl made her seem so dainty. Like,
I mean, she was not dainty.
No. But I mean, the powers that she possessed, it was like, oh, I'm gonna carry this.
It was a weak story. It was funny. It was my kids watched it with me because I was like, hey, you want to watch Supergirl? And they were picking up plot holes in Supergirls. And if like 9-year-olds can pick up plot holes in a movie, you got a bad story.
But this is also the 80s.
It was the 80s.
Most 80s film were like this.
So just because you had this whole thing with Wonder Woman and stuff like that, you know they're gonna cast some tiny little girl to be Supergirl.
Which I'm totally, you know what?
You're okay with that because her powers, she didn't have to be muscular.
Yes.
It's her powers is that she's in the sun and she's strong already.
Yes, that's where and that makes actually, I'm not saying it makes sense, but
comics.
It's it's the truth. That's the truth, right? Any Kryptonian would have, because of the yellow sun, would have and powers regardless of their physique.
Right.
Okay. Don't get me started. I know. I'm gonna start bashing on. Never mind.
We're not bashing Wonder Woman today. Today is Wonder Woman's love.
Yes. I mean, she's good looking either way, right? So, Supergirl, that's a no-brainer too. You have all these great comics movies coming out. That should be on the list. I mean, she has a fan base. You have something already. Those three, the top 3, but specifically those top 2, there's already a fan base there. Now we just need to introduce Supergirl, a new character. Obviously, that's another no-brainer.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so that was our top 5. All right, so
I think that's a good top 5.
No holy man on the list this time. So no complaints for me. I didn't freak out on any of your stuff this week. All right, so my top 5. I tried to pick stuff that I don't think we've seen yet, and things that I think would be interesting, really interesting ones. So my number 5, Spider-Girl.
Oh, not a big fan base there, but...
Whoa! Hold up. No, there's not a big fan base for Spider-Girl. But if Sony's gonna do the Spider-Verse, it would make sense to include Spider-Girl in their whole Spider-Verse. You could interchange it with Spider-Woman.
Yes.
You can.
Yeah.
But I like
Spider-Woman, Spider-Girl, Spider-Dog, Spider-Cat.
I like Spider-Girl because
Spider-Pig.
I mean she's
Spider-Pig.
There's Spider-Ham. There is a Spider-Ham. Since you're gonna make a Simpsons reference, there's a Spider-Ham. I mean, but she was the daughter of Peter Parker, and it's cool because she gets to wear his costume. Or you could do even so, and I'm changing my number 5 is like everybody in Spider-Man's universe that's a woman. The Spider-Gwen.
Gwen Stacy?
Yeah, there was an alternate universe where she lived. And
I think it's far-reaching. Now we're just like...
Okay, but Spider-Gwen's really popular in the comics right now.
Okay, well...
There you go. A spider that is a girl. That's my number 5.
Those don't exist. I've seen all male spiders.
All right, so number 4. I'm going to go Power Girl.
Okay.
And only because we've already seen a Supergirl film, and I think Power Girl is the more mature version of Supergirl. Because I mean, if you're not a big comic books fan, Supergirl goes to another universe, and there's already a Supergirl there, so she assumes a different identity. As she assumes identity as her and Catwoman go. She assumes the identity as Power Girl. Catwoman assumes the identity as Huntress. So
essentially, it is a Supergirl movie.
It's a Supergirl movie, but not a Supergirl movie.
Just renamed.
She has a haircut. She has her haircut. And then she has a revealing outfit with boobs everywhere, and that's what I want to see in my films.
But see, boobs. Well, okay. So you got Power Girl, but there's already a Supergirl in that universe.
In that universe. Look, don't be bringing in logic to my films.
Your 9-year-olds are going to find plot holes in that. All right.
Number 3. All right, so my number 3 is a character. I mean, it's not a very old character. Got introduced in the animated series. We just got to see her for the first time live on screen, and I think that if we do something that goes a little bit further into her being of age, X-23.
Yes.
I think that would be a great one. I would want, because even though it works so well in Logan, my always drawback was that I wanted to see Laura older. I wanted to see her older, ready to take the mantle of Wolverine. And I think if we do an X-23 film where she takes the mantle of Wolverine, I think that'd be so awesome.
It'd have to be a dark movie.
It would have to be a rated R Fox film.
It would have to be a dark film for it to be successful.
I mean, the way they've already set up the character where she will kill, at a moment's notice, then this one would have to be something. It would have to be a Wolverine type film, and that's why I would like to see her take the mantle as Wolverine.
Yeah.
I think that's a good.
I can see that.
All right, see.
Redeem yourself. Redeem yourself after Power Girl. I still doubt it.
All right. Number 2. My number 2. She-Hulk.
Oh no!
Come on!
No.
I want to see a She-Hulk film because I want to see it cross over with Daredevil. I want to see her in the courtroom with Matt Murdock, and they're battling out a case, and then she just goes in all as She-Hulk because she's her character is like she likes being She-Hulk as opposed to being her regular self, so she's always She-Hulk. And I was like, I want to see her all green.
Her power isn't from she doesn't have rage like.
It doesn't increase with her rage like the Incredible Hulk does, but she got her power. This comic stuff now. She got her powers from a transfusion from Banner, and because she was in a car accident. So she was a timid person before, so you can cast the diminutive girl, and then you go in and you get the chick, the Glamazon from WWE, or you'd have to Ronda Rousey. You would have
to get a. You'd have to get a WWE wrestler
or like,
to play her.
Gina Carano or something like that. You'd have to get like an MMA fighter or something like that to come in to be a She-Hulk type character. But I think that would be a great character because, she's a smart character. She's funny. She fourth wall broke before Deadpool did in her comics because nobody was reading them. She used to make references on the covers and stuff like that to the readers and stuff like that. So I think that would be a really interesting character.
I just don't know if there's enough there.
She'd be green. And she'd be voluptuous.
She'd be Romanesque.
And she, like I said, it's a great way to tie in the Netflix stuff because, like I said, you can do a crossover with Matt Murdock, Daredevil.
Yeah.
All right, so
She's not enough of a character, I think, to be a leading character.
look, we're trying to get women to the forefront here. We got to get some new ones
So
out
pick
there.
better ones.
Look,
So pick better ones.
Nobody's Guardians of the Galaxy. Nobody read Guardians of the Galaxy, but yet everybody loves that franchise. Like they were like, oh my god, I used to read this film. I used to read this comic book back in.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
That's why they canceled the comic book like 17 times. Anyway, on. I get on the Guardians of the Galaxy rant. I try not to do that. Number one, just like he said, I think it's time to get a Black Widow film. We already know Scarlett Johansson can sell tickets. She beat The Rock when Hercules came out with Lucy, and that's the. Nobody cares about Lucy.
I like Lucy. That was a good movie.
They cared about Scarlett Johansson and they supported her.
I care about Scarlett Johansson too.
They didn't care about Ghost in the Shell because they didn't support her on that one. But I think it's time that the MCU fan universe, they want their I mean, we're getting it with Captain Marvel as far as a woman-led superhero film, and we're getting it with the Wasp and the Ant and the Wasp. But Scarlett Johansson is long overdue for this. She should have been the first one, and that's why she's the number one on my list. Is that because it's time to give her own film? You can make it espionage. It can be Jason Bourne-ish like type deal.
There's
without
so
Matt
much
Damon.
you can do.
Yeah, I mean, you can do so much stuff. She can go undercover. It could be like so many things, like James Bondish in a way, where she's like, you know, bedding down other women. I don't know where I'm going with this, but
I'd see it either way.
It would be rated R. Mine would be rated R. But that is my top.
All your films would be rated R.
They would all be tight. They would all be rated, and they'd all feature boobs. The honorable mentions. All right, go first.
Even this. Is this a prize she fell?
It's Scarlet, right? You knocked down Scarlet. You knocked down Scarlet.
I did not. You did.
Sorry. Honorable mentions. Sorry.
Honorable mentions. All right. So not very many people know of the Stepford Cuckoos.
Hey, they got referenced once in X-Men 3. They didn't get referenced by name, but they showed up to
yes.
They showed up on scene.
Yeah. So the Stepford Cuckoos are, I think, just a side film, just a spin-off.
Dude,
would
we're
be
so nerd hardcore today.
We are going. We're nerding down, Joe. If I just had my glasses, I'd be like that.
Yes, the Stepford Cuckoos.
This is a movie that you would not have to have any other movie or any other villain or superhero or anyone else involved. It's quintuplets, and they're all connected. They have a psychic link with one another, and together they can do so much. But then they all have their separate personalities, and there's so much.
They kind of did a character sort of like this in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. with the agent who had all the brothers, all the twin brothers.
Well,
they kind of did.
But then we found out they were clones.
Yeah.
Okay. No, these were sisters, quintuplets with powers.
Right.
But the powers combined makes them even stronger, but then they have their own personalities.
Right.
So there's always, tumultuous relationship between each other. So there's so much that they could do, with this. I just think that would be a pretty cool movie.
You know what? It would be interesting to do, and like I said, it's.
But finding 5 quintuplets.
No, you find one, and then you double impact it.
Yeah.
You do
You double impact it.
you shoot from different angles. You do the green screen, and you like cut the scenes in half and stuff like that. And you like when you touch somebody, they got their head to the back, and you're like, hey, you did a good job. Yeah, you did a great job.
kind of like Michael Keaton and
back in the day, you used to do this stuff, and
I never did. I was a good boy.
So what else you got, sir?
All right, Psylocke.
Psylocke's a great one. I mean,
talk about scantily clad already.
Oh goodness, Jessica Munn. I think Jessica Munn. I mean, she's already been in films. I mean, she's got a lot of accolades from her show on HBO. Yeah. It was like she's a good actor. She could lead a film.
She could, and that's where I think this is another one. Because they touched the film, they touched her They touched on her character.
I mean, they didn't
Briefly.
reference the whole thing with her getting her mind wiped. And,
No,
or being switched bodies. Being placed into. I forget who was the original body, the little ninja she's in now, because she was a blonde-haired girl, blonde-haired white girl, Betsy Braddock, and she's a
Which proves my point. You can do a movie on her.
By the way, you were talking about like, hey, characters that nobody knows of, and it was like they barely know Psylocke. They barely know.
I know,
Psylocke.
but she was already introduced.
Okay, so she was already introduced. You can get her out there.
And she's attractive.
Very, very.
And her character was pretty badass.
And it would give Jessica Munn a way to kind of branch out. Like I said, I think she could lead a role.
So I'm going to name a character that very few people know about.
Oh, really? The Cuckoos wasn't.
No, I think
that wasn't a deep cut enough. You was like, you go deeper than that.
I'm gonna go really nerdy on this one. And Nova.
Oh,
Yeah.
like the female Nova one.
Yeah,
Oh, okay,
female
yeah.
Nova.
All right. It's like because I think the current Nova is like Sam. What is his name? Sam Braddock.
There's so many different ones, right? No, Nova. She's freaking powerful.
But if you do Nova, I think it's too Captain Marvel-ish.
So what?
I mean, we're gonna get Nova to begin with, but I think if you do her as a female, it's gonna be too Captain Marvel-ish. Because I mean, it's space. I mean,
It's
Nova's
spacey. It's
very spacey. And Nova's more of a Green Lantern type character type deal. he's a space police, and like I said, if you say Captain Marvel is also in space, and look, it's woman power, yes, but I think it's too close. But,
why not?
hey,
You can have in this universe. I mean, think about how vast the universe is. You can have multiple characters with.
There you go.
And so I'm just thinking obscure. Hey, what can you build a movie that has the character has enough material out there, source material that you can build a movie that's it's not going to be whatever like someone that no one ever heard of and their powers aren't that powerful. And there's not enough material out there because
I've heard of Spider-Girl.
But it has to be tied with Spider-Man.
Hey, the Spider-Less universe. What else you got?
That's it for right now.
All right. Okay. So I'll give you my honorable mentions.
All right.
My also honorable mentions. Vixen, which almost made my top 5. I replaced her with Spider-Girl because I thought Spider-Girl made more sense. But Vixen, where she calls on animal powers and stuff like that, I think that'd be great. It'd be a little bit different from Catwoman because she doesn't actually go full out. And
She's already in.
she's on the TV show. Yeah, but she's not really. I mean, a lot of people on a TV show. DC has a lot of characters out there right now.
They do.
So I think Vixen would be good. I mean, Vixen's already had a TV show.
So
she had her own TV show.
Would you use the same Vixen that's currently out there, or would you redo?
We'd recast.
Okay.
So she's already she had her own TV show. She was on Arrow, and she's been mentioned in like the DC animation, so people know who Vixen is.
Yeah, no.
So I think that would be a great.
There's enough material there that you could build a movie off of her without.
Black Canary, because then you could tie it with Green Arrow. That's another one, and she's got Scream sonic powers. I think that'd be an awesome one to do. I mean, because that's something that we haven't really seen on screen since that First Class with Banshee.
Yeah,
they barely.
Well,
touched
that was
that
not
one.
even Banshee. That was Banshee's child or something.
Oh, okay. Other ones that I have, Zatora, more of a magic type film, where they could do some, they really starting to introduce magic in these universes and stuff like that. So it's another way to introduce magic.
Yeah. There's enough material there with her as well.
And my final one, because I kind of want to see how they do this, is Batwoman. Because
what is you and freaking? There's already characters out there. Why? Just because you change the ending from man to woman,
and
then all of a sudden, that's a great movie.
No,
that would be don't
look who made. Look, you wanted to go with the female Nova. That's not even the most popular Nova.
Exactly, but Nova hasn't been introduced in the movies.
No, because they're gonna introduce him as man. But no, look, Batwoman. I mean, because it's part of the Bat family. We're introducing all of the Bat family. We're gonna get.
I know
Jason
y'all
Todd.
agree with me
We're
that
gonna,
all
we're
you
gonna
do
Jason Todd. We're gonna
comment
get
and let him know
we're gonna get Jason
how absurd
Todd.
it is to just change man to woman.
And the whole thing with why I picked Batwoman is because she's bisexual. Or I don't think she's bisexual. I think she's just straight gay. Yeah, I'm sorry. So it's a gay character that they could do.
But their sexual orientation should play no part in why you're going to make this movie.
Hey, dude, look, they had a gay character in Beauty and the Beast, and that's a movie that should make no freaking reference to it. They still did that, and it's a way to include the, sexualities and in the universe, and it would be rated R. So, but it extends the Bat family as well. I think
it's too confusing for just because you replace any freaking superhero with man to woman. I know
Iron Man is woman.
And I know I'm being a hypocrite because I also said Supergirl.
Yeah, you did.
But I didn't replace man with woman. I said girl.
I said Spider-Girl.
Because more people know about Supergirl than they do about Spider-Girl. Argue that point? You cannot.
We'll see. I can't argue that point.
You can.
All right, so... Any final thoughts before we go, Art?
I still think Holy Man is a legit...
Holy Man is a bad thing! Alright guys, so this was our top 5 superheroines that we want to see on screen. Make sure you guys like and comment below. Tell us what your top 5 superheroines that you want to see on screen. Hopefully you will add Spider-Girl like I did to mine. Always make sure that you like on these videos so that way we know if you guys are digging what we put out for content for you guys. And subscribe so that way you know about when all the rest of our videos come out as well. If you don't have any more, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna wish Art a goodbye, but a thank you because he always comes in here when I need to fill in for Manny, who could make it. Welcome back, Art, to the goods. I don't like the way that fucking sounded. We're gonna do this again. Hi guys, welcome back to the show. Fuck, that's my intro to movie reviews. And we're back. No, we do that later.